Hey you guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to be trying out another one of the Bh Cosmetics REMIX Dance palettes. This is the 90s palette, and I'm going to be creating two different eye looks with this palette, and I'm going to be showing you guys swatches of all of the shades. So I hope you guys are all excited about today's video. If you are, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, let's go ahead and do close-ups and swatches of all of the shades in this palette. So this is the Bh Cosmetics 90s REMIX Dance palette, and the price is $18. This 15 pan eyeshadow palette has pastel, baby pinks, blues, and neutral tones. Here are the shades up close. I love the color story of this palette, and there are both mattes and shimmers in here. So let's go ahead and start swatching the top row. The first shade is called Supermodel. Wow, I love that shade. I really like icy, shimmery shades like this. Be My Lover. Ooh, that one is also stunning. Jiggy. Wannabe, and No Scrubs. Alright, so there is the top row. I already love this top row. I think the shades are so pretty. Moving on to the second row. First we have the shade Genie. Hit Me Baby. Okay, these pastels are so pretty. Can't Touch. Heartbreaker, and Say My Name. Alright, so here is the second row. It is seriously so pretty. And moving on to the last row. First we have I'm Blue, Creep. Wow, that one is beautiful. Too Sexy, Show Me Love, and La Vida Loca. So here are all of the shades in the palette. I'm like obsessed with this color story. These shades are gorgeous. So now that you guys have seen all of these shades in the palette, let's move on to the demo part of this video where I'm going to create these two eye looks. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime my lids with my P. Louise base, of course. I use this in literally every single eyeshadow review video that I do. I'm just going to blend this out all over the lid. So I'm thinking I'm going to do like a brown toned eye that's kind of like neutral, and then for the other eye we'll do like a colorful look. So I'm first going to take this shade right here, and I'm just going to kind of stamp this all in my crease and then start blending outwards. Honestly, Bh Cosmetics has amazing eyeshadows. Like, I feel like they're not talked about enough. Like, I always have such a positive experience trying out their eyeshadow palettes because the quality is just so good and they are pretty affordable. I am also going to blend this shade along the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to take the shade called Wannabe, and I am just going to apply this with a little bit smaller of a blending brush because I want to keep the shade a little bit lower into the crease. Also going to put this one along the lower lash line. And now I'm going to take the darkest brown called No Scrubs. I'm going to first start by kind of tapping it on the outer corner and then slowly blending it out. I don't want to go too high with this shade. I also kind of want to build it up. I don't want it to be just like super dark from the beginning. Then I'm going to kind of drag it over here into the crease. And then I'm also going to kind of just pat this like right up against the lower lash line. I don't want this to be like too far down. I really just want to concentrate it right on the lash line. Now I'm going to take the shade called Supermodel, and I am just going to pop this right here on the inner part of my lid. I did add some concealer off camera on my lid. Nothing like too precise, but I did want to do a little bit of a cut crease. That is such a pretty like icy, almost like white shade. Now I'm going to take the shade called Be My Lover, and I'm just going to apply that right next to the first shade and kind of blend it out across my lid. So I really want to use this green right here because for the other eye look, I kind of want to use all of these shades. So I'm going to take the shimmery green shade right here. And this is like so basic, but I'm going to just pop this right here in the inner corner. How pretty is this green? All right, so here is eye look number 1 complete. It's pretty basic, but I am glad that I went ahead and popped the green in my inner corner since I'm not sure if I'm going to use the green yet on the colorful eye. So for this next eye look, I'm first going to start out with the shade called Heartbreaker. And I'm just going to start by kind of mapping out the shape of my eye. This shade has really good pigmentation. Now I'm going to take the shade called Can't Touch, and I'm just going to start blending this with a really small blending brush just right along the edge of the first shade. We're going to first start with like diffusing the edges, and then I'm going to start blending outwards here in a second. So after the edges are kind of diffused, I'm going to switch to this bigger blending brush, and I'm just going to lightly blend that same shade all along the crease. Now I'm going to take the shade called Hit Me Baby, and I'm just going to start by pressing this along the outer half of the lower lash line, and then I'll kind of blend it out. Now I'm going to take the shade called Genie, and this one I'm going to start blending from like the front of the lash line and then kind of blend it towards the center. Moving on to the lid, I'm going to first take this pink shade, and I'm just going to start applying this like right here on the inner part of my lid. Once again, I did add some concealer all over the lid first. Now I'm going to take the shade called I'm Blue, and I'm just going to start blending this down the center of my lid. I'm going to have to go back in with the pink and kind of blend those two shades together, but for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and apply this one. Then I'm going to take the shade called Creep, and I'm just going to drag this down the outer part of my lid. Once again, I'm just going to apply it, and then we're going to start blending the shades together. So once they're all on there, it's kind of looking a little bit messy, but I'm going to take the pink again, and I'm going to start blending onto the blue, because we want these colors to look like they are kind of fading into each other. Then I'm going to do the same with the last two shades. And now I'm going to take this like peach shimmery shade, and I'm just going to pop this in the inner corner. Alright, so here is the second eye complete. This one's a little bit out there for me. It's very colorful. I used a bunch of different shades. I love the pastel shades on the lower lash line. I really like how the eye turned out, even though it is a little bit crazy for my personal taste. But overall, I really liked both of the eye looks that I created. I think that the shades in this palette are so pretty. I love the color story of this palette. You can create so many different looks with this palette because of all of the different shades. The mattes performed amazing. Bh Cosmetics has really good mattes. They are super pigmented, but they blend so easily. They're very like silky smooth. I love the formula of the mattes, and then the shimmer shades are stunning. They can be applied with your finger or a brush, and they go on just as good either way. I love shimmery shades that can be applied with a brush, so you can be like really precise. So yeah, overall I really enjoyed this palette. I think this one might be one of my favorites of the Dance Remix palettes. I feel like this one has a really beautiful color story, and all of the shades performed amazing. So yeah, definitely a thumbs up for me. Let me know what you guys think about this palette in the comments down below. What do you guys think about the eye looks? Are you planning on picking up this palette? I would love to hear your thoughts. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, make sure you have your notifications turned on. That way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. All you have to do is click the bell next to the subscribe button, and then you'll receive a notification every time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.